Been so on the go, so on the go. Trying to get my arms, trying to get my hands stronger.
Yeah. Wrist work.
I sent whoever was in here last left us in here. What are you up to? Everything good? You got any exciting plans for the weekend?
For this weekend, not this weekend, but next weekend, I'm gonna be out in LA, so definitely going. You know what I'm saying? I know we gotta lock in for sure, but
yeah,
I'm just gonna be taking advantage of, what just dropped and using that momentum. I already got some good stuff set up, so definitely I'll be out there for a week, and then I'm gonna come back out there next month too.
Yeah, no, most definitely. It's you definitely someone who's gonna kind of take advantage of the momentum and the big moments you got right now. But like I said, man, everyone knows what's going on. We always ask for recommendations on who should be the next interview, etc. Hitman is somebody who's definitely popped up time and time again, and definitely one of my closest homies in the music game. We've been working since I want to say like late 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, like late 2018, early 2019.
Yeah, definitely someone who's helped me out a ton. Hopefully I've helped you out a little bit in different ways too, but putting me onto different things, putting different people onto me, helping me start working with a lot of different people. So definitely been looking forward to this one. Coming off a huge moment, excited to get into it. The producer room, powered by producer culture. My man Hitman in the building. What's going on?
What's going on, Carl? How you doing?
Man, everything's good. Can't complain. But yeah, first things first, you can't go anywhere right now without hearing somebody talking about this new Kendrick project. Like, did you get a chance to listen to it? What are you thinking?
I've been listening to it like since it dropped at 12. I started listening right at 12. I've been going through the whole album, kind of replaying everything. That album's crazy. The production's crazy. I like just the back and forth on some of the songs. How he played, like you could kind of tell that he was standing in different rooms. Like he wasn't right by the microphone. Like just little things like that you could kind of appreciate. It felt like I was in a room with some of those songs. Like they definitely spoke well.
Yeah,
one of the hardest albums of the year for sure.
Yeah, that's one of the first projects I gotta say in a really, really long time that I was. Don't get me wrong, I listen to stuff the night it comes out all the time, and I have the like privilege of being in LA, so it's only 9:00 for me when it drops. Everyone on the East Coast got to kind of stay up a little later, but I definitely, don't get me wrong, like, so and so drops this day, I listen to it the night it comes out, whatever. But I haven't in a really long time like really just sat there, waited for the clock to turn the minute, checked and listened to it. And I definitely did it last night too. Listened to it all the way through, and yeah, the production is so crazy. The production on it's so crazy, and it was just cool to kind of like tap back into that for me, because like when I was a sophomore in high school, I remember when Good Kid, Mad City came out, and that was like still to this day maybe like the craziest album I ever heard. So
yeah,
tap back into that.
Yeah, Kendrick, he drops like full bodies of work.
Yeah,
it's like you can like just like with Good Kid, Mad City, you can literally remember every single song off of that. So I know that's one of the things. Like so much music comes out. Like we're in it. So much music comes out. Everybody want to drop Friday. So every Friday you can kind of just wait at midnight. You want to see new projects, and it can get tough to keep up with everything. Like I'll end up hearing a project and it'll be like 2-3 songs that fully resonate, and then the other like 13 songs is just like, okay, you know what I mean? Like they hard, but they don't stick. But it's only been one day. It hasn't even been a full day since the Kendrick project's dropped, and I know it has staying power. Like these songs do have staying power.
Yeah.
All his projects have.
He broke the like single day streaming record in like 11 hours. Like crazy.
Absurd. I don't see anybody topping that for a while.
Yeah. And man, how goated is the man Kodak Black all over there too? Like,
yeah, Kodak's been going crazy all year. It's definitely been good to see because once he got out of jail and everything like that, he was just going at it, drop, 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 and that was his strategy. And people at first were sitting there thinking that okay, he fell off, but he was just getting, what I'm saying, getting right back to it, building up his momentum, and it's been good after like Super Gremlin dropped, and he's just been like all these albums, like it's like to the point where you gotta have a Kodak feature. Gotta have a Kodak feature. So it's definitely great to see that.
Yeah. No, it's so true. I'm recently there was a time recently where two projects dropped and Kodak was on both of them. It was Shiesty dropped and the same day Future and No Cap dropped, and he was on both No Cap and Future. So it's like
yeah.
I just need you need that for sure. It's crazy. I'm so curious to how those like Kendrick Kodak conversations happened and when some of the stuff was made. I'm sure I'll never be able to figure it out, but maybe someday.
We need to do an interview.
Yeah.
One of them got to do an interview and talk about that.
Yeah.
Because it's so left field, you don't see it coming, but definitely like it works.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing.
No, most definitely. But yeah, like I said, you and I have been working together for a really long time. Like I've always championed Hitman as one of the hardest working producers I know. I've hit him up for like opportunities with different producers or different like beat opportunities for artists, whether it's some huge artist or some little TikTok opportunity or some like commercial or this or that or a whole bunch of different stuff, and you're always so on it. Like we were just saying, it seems like everything's got a Kodak feature now. That Future project definitely had one, and what a huge moment for you too to appear on that project. One of the more premier singles on there, the track with Baby and 42 Dugg on there. Like, what was it like just being finally breaking through into such like a huge project like that?
It's been great because like I've been this close. We talk all the time. So you remember how 2021 for me was, where we talk about all the things that I got done, but it's just different when you go from having all these big A-listers on your beats and stuff, and the songs don't drop, versus this time the song actually does drop, and not only that, is doing what it's supposed to do, and that's a really great feeling because even down to like you got the paperwork, got the splits, got everything, sent the stems, all that's taken care of, but because of what happened last year, it's just like, okay, I'm sitting there waiting for Apple Music, wait until I see, waiting to see it pop up, and once it does, and you can just play it and hear it, it's just such a great feeling because you just know that the things are going to change once it drops, and they certainly have. So I'm taking full advantage of it. It's great.
Yeah. That's another good thing to bring up too. Like, what are you kind of doing? I'm sure on one hand, it's as simple as just people hear the production, know it's such a top song, so they're reaching out to you and you're taking advantage of the opportunities. But like, what are you kind of doing to make sure you just stay on top of it, keep the momentum rolling, and like, how do you stay away from getting lazy too? Because I know there are a lot of people who would just want to celebrate and go out and do this and that. And so what's kind of your strategy been since the song released?
For me, I just stay grounded. In some ways, I act like the song hasn't even come out. So I still have those days where I make like 8 to 10 beats, sometimes more. But I'm still on my computer all the time. Like even right now, I'm just in my room. You know what I'm saying? Like my computer in front of me. I was working on the beat before you called me. So I'm just working. I'm still reaching out to people. It's just great because I have that as a selling point. So you reach out to people and you let them know, okay, I got this. You still got to push yourself. So now when I'm pushing myself in these people's DMs, or I'm pushing myself in these people's direction, they just heard my song. They just heard my tag all over the place. They can see it right on my page too. So it's just like, I'm not getting left in the request box. You know what I'm saying? So it's a good feeling. I'm just hungry. My hunger to get more songs and to just keep this wave going up is been crazy. I haven't partied or nothing like that. I probably need to just one. I did a little bit of celebrating. There's one time, a little bit of celebrating, but that's about it. Other than that, I'm going hard. Everybody around me going hard. We pushing, and we've been definitely like landed a few songs already. It's been 2 weeks, I think. It's been 2 weeks. It's been about 2 weeks, and we're already getting stuff done. So definitely, that's how we doing it. We just acting like the song ain't coming out.
Yeah, you brought up a bunch of good points there, but it's funny you said, I'm right by my computer right now. I'm cooking up right before you call me. It's like, that's really how these goes. I'll call at any time, this producer, that producer, yo, interview right now, let's go. And then we just kind of do it from there. Yeah, you spoke to, it's funny too, because you said like, you're not really getting left in that like request inbox anymore. And I think like, this isn't 100% true, of course, but I feel like for the most part, people do kind of see everything. And I think that that's a good thing for people to think about when they're reaching out. Because I think sometimes people just copy and paste the same message to like 50 different people. And that's really never going to work because like people do see everything. So it's got to be like a little bit of a personal approach.
Right. You have to be personal with it. I think producers sometimes, I think we can be hypocrites because we send general messages to these artists, and we just copy and paste. But when loop makers copy and paste messages to us, and we can tell it's copy and paste, we just blatantly ignore them, or we just swipe left. And I feel like you got to think about this. Artists go through beats the same way that we as producers go through loops. So they go through DMs the same way we go through DMs. They see everything the same way we see everything. So being personable, it's never 100%. Don't get me wrong, it's never 100%. I can't just DM Kendrick Lamar and have that go through and be as personal. But generally speaking, that's how it works. I can name drop somebody like Kevin Gates. When I had reached out to him and I had started working with him, I just reached out. I was very personable because I've been a fan of him since 2000 and who knows when. I was just very personable with my message, and it struck. So that's just how we got it. And that situation happens more than you would think. So when you're hitting these artists up and you're hitting these people up, be as personable. Don't sound like a robot. Don't sound like an automated message, or you will not make it through that request box. I promise you.
Yeah. You also said brought up a good point of like, these people are now seeing your DM because you're going about it the right way. You're making it personable, and even on top of that, they've just heard your beat and they know they just heard your beat because they just heard your tag. What I guess first, what's the story behind your tag? But then also, like, what's your opinion on just tags in general? Like, is it important to have a super strong tag? Does it not matter as much as the quality of the beat? Like, what's your whole thought on the entire thing?
I'm gonna answer that second one first. Personally, while I feel like it's not I don't know if it's a requirement per se. There's plenty of people who are successful without a tag, but there are plenty of people who are successful with a tag. Like, the price of that beat goes up. The value of that whole song goes up when you hear Weezy Out of Here, when you hear Metro, you know what I'm saying? When you hear Zaytoven, when you hear these producers' tags, everything goes up. The song gets more streams. Like, the value of that song goes up. The value of the beat goes up. I don't care what anyone says. Take Keith tag is worth more than the beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, the tags are worth more than the beat. So that's branding. It's all branding. And we live in the social media world, where a lot of people, they're not just meeting artists in the studio, they're hitting them up virtually. We get a lot done virtually. So while it's not a requirement, it makes a huge difference. It's beneficial to have a good ass tag and to have a catchy tag. So you don't need it, but if you have it, take advantage of it. That's what I do. And the story behind my tag is crazy because you know, when you remember from when I like first started on, I was working with a ton of people from Louisiana, like big, small, medium. That's how I broke through. So this guy named Young Star that I work with a lot, he did the tag, and he did a tag on a demo. Like it was just a demo version of a song that he dropped, and it wasn't even in there. But he had just sent me the MP3, and I just heard it, and it just like the little DJ scratch that I put in the beat to make it drop, and he just said it just perfect. He just said it so perfect, and I just cut it from the song. I like, bro, this is my new tag. Thank you. And you know what I'm saying, free on Star, he locked up, but he's in jail and he'll be out soon. But he hears my tags and he can be going around letting everybody know, yeah, bro, that's me. I did that. And he said they be like, you know, woosah. They be like so proud of him in there and stuff like that, just off of the strength of that. So it's very cool. I got a cool story behind mine.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome story. I actually never heard that before. That's dope. Like, it's crazy that, however they're listening to it. I obviously have different platforms to listen to music, but he's listening to Future and he's hearing himself on the song. Like,
Yes.
too crazy. It's really him, Future, Baby, Dugg, like all on the song.
Yeah.
That shit is too crazy. But yeah, obviously, some huge moments as of late. But of course it doesn't just come out of nowhere. You don't just roll out of bed one day and have a Future placement come out. Like, how does it all kind of start for you? How do you start, producing in the first place? What's kind of your first route? Do you start posting beats on YouTube? Like, speak to those early days a little bit.
Okay, so early on, I just got into making beats, just messing around, completely messing around, to the point this it sounds like a joke, but I started on a PSP, PlayStation Portable. Timberland had this game called Beta Raider. I still remember it, how to, what I'm saying, program it and everything, but I just started on there, and I would just post my beats on Airbit. It was called My Flash Store back then. I would just post on there, and I actually had I had got a Riff Raff placement. If y'all remember Riff Raff, I had got a Riff Raff placement off of the beat that I made on my PSP, and it just made me just sit up there and think like, wow, okay, I can really do this. So I graduated from the PSP to the laptop. I started posting beats on YouTube, and just in my free time, I had realized one thing that I was great at was remaking beats and like flipping beats. So I was remaking old Gucci Mane, Zaytoven beats, old Boosie beats, stuff like that. So I would be like on YouTube, just doing that, not knowing what I was doing, but just post. I stopped doing YouTube. I don't remember why. I was still in like high school. It was a while ago. I was still in school. So I just randomly just logged back into my YouTube one day, and I just see that I have a couple thousand subscribers. My video has like hundreds of thousands of views. So I'm like, okay, it's like I'm just getting all these signs that like I need to do this. So I just start just going crazy. I'm just posting beats. The mix on them wasn't the best. So the quality of every beat wasn't like up here per se, but I didn't care. I was just doing it for fun. But I realized that it's just something that I was just so passionate about. So I'm just posting, and in the middle of doing that, I had what is it called? Search engine optimization, SEO. This is probably before the term even came out, but I realized that I started getting real traction with a bunch of artists in Louisiana. So like 2016, 2017, it's like pretty much every artist from there, really big, medium, really small. I had a song with them one way or another. So I had a YoungBoy song back then. I had one of JD Young's first really big songs called Sliding. I had a Boosie song. I had a Boosie feature. Just anybody you can name that was coming out of that area I had a song with. So I had realized that, okay, this is my signature. I had my signature sound, I had my target audience, and then I just locked in all the way on, you know what I'm saying, supplying beats to everybody just from out there. And it just grew and grew. And I started expanding my sound, but I kept my YouTube to that. So people didn't know that I could do these other sounds until they reached out to me directly. But yeah, so I just kept posting on YouTube, and I got another YoungBoy placement. It was called Hot Boys, with him and Baby Joe and Glock 9. And then that was the August 2019, I think it was. I think that's when I started to really like, I was really like, okay, I'm just gonna go all the way in and do this full time. And even though I struggled at first, so like between August to February of 2020, it was very up and down. I just had my money, you know what I'm saying, saved up because I'm good with my money. And ultimately, February 2020, YoungBoy had dropped Bad Bad, and that was my first like charting song. That was my first like actual hit, you know what I'm saying? So that solidified everything. So I didn't have like no more money problems after that song came out. You remember, because you know my YouTube was going crazy.
Crazy.
You know, everything was going good. So from that moment on, it's just like I'm locked in. And from there, I just been going crazy, making as many beats as I can, reaching out to as many people as I can, and just finding artists to really lock in with. And excuse me, I've just been doing my thing ever since that song came out.
No, you've definitely been locked in since. That's crazy. I didn't realize your first placement ever was a Riff Raff placement. He actually he tapped in. We've been doing some YouTube shit together. I'm gonna have to send him a Hitman pack for old time's sake.
Yeah. I have to rekindle that.
No, I'll definitely send it to him. I'll tell him the story too. I'll send it through. He'll jump on it, I'm sure. But I wanted to ask, like, was it kind of a combination of both? So specifically Bad Bad, but just use that as an example. Like when the early placements were coming, that was obviously kind of like a turning point. But was it mostly like placements from people picking the beats up off of YouTube, or you sending them and making connections on your own, or both, or how does it kind of happen?
For me, it's always been it was a combination. So I was getting placements off of YouTube. I got a good amount of placements off of YouTube, and then that one was one that I had like it was just basically all through Instagram. How we had locked that in. Just sending the YoungBoy engineer at the time, Chris James. Shout out to Chris James. That's my boy. Shout out Chris. He's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so me and Akel, we just did that beat. Shout out to Akel, young GOAT. But me and Akel had did the beat, and as soon as we heard it, we was just like, okay, this is the one. So we just got that sent over to Chris James immediately. YoungBoy hopped on it immediately. Most of the album was done, so it was just like it was just so hard that they just had to just go on there. They just had to do that, and that was definitely a game changer. But even now to this day, I still got my YouTube up. I don't go as crazy as I do. As I used to. I need to, you know what I'm saying? I still feel like I'm gonna get back to it and just really like lock in on it, because I still get placements off of YouTube. Yeah. I still get lease sales. People still buy beats, go to my beat store and everything like that. So I'll never let my YouTube go. But yeah, so I get them both ways. Now it's just more about sending off or being in person or having these relationships, but I still get stuff off of YouTube.
Yeah. Bro, yeah. And I'm so glad that you do. Like, I don't know. I've been pretty vocal about kind of like the side of the fence that I sit on when it's like people like, oh, now that I got this placement, I'm not going to post on YouTube anymore because I don't want to water down my sound. But it's like, bro, like
you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going, because you can't forget what got you here.
Can't forget what got you there. why would you personally cut off a revenue stream? Like
Exactly. Even if
purposely cut off a revenue stream.
even if you're not going to go as crazy as you want as you used to,
Yeah.
because you're just obviously going to get more busy with other things. You know, sometimes it can be pretty natural. But even if you're not going to go crazy, I don't know why people get to a certain point and they just wipe their YouTube or they just delete it. And I'm like, dog, every beat has value. Like, to me, every single beat that I make has value. A beat that I made from 2020, a beat that I made 2018. I just need to mix it better, put my new mix on it, swap some drums out here and there. But every single beat has value. I be saying that all the time. Heck, a big placement that I have on the way, we're not gonna talk about the details obviously, but it's from a beat from middle of 2020. So we're talking about a 2-year-old beat that when this song drops, it could chart. So I don't throw away nothing. I don't.
Yeah.
I never throw a beat away. Never throw opportunities away on purpose.
No.
I'm not a fan of that personally.
Bro, I couldn't agree more. And it's like, I don't know, sometimes people are like, well, Pierre Bourne and Metro don't post. It's like, yeah, but are you them yet? Like
No.
keep working. I'm not trying to discourage you, but it's like, bro, Hitman still posts beats on YouTube, Drum Dummy still posts beats on YouTube, TNT still posts beats on YouTube. I'm pretty sure AP still posts beats on YouTube. Like, there's no reason to stop and cut off a revenue stream. And even like, they're all, everything on YouTube is they're all individual assets too. They're individual revenue streams in themselves too. So it's like, why would you stop? It doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, I mean, obviously those songs come out and then I don't know, I feel like kind of like a big turning point for you. Like, you really start taking it serious. You have really serious business management around you. Like, speak to that and just why you really think it's so important to kind of have everything set up so properly.
Oh, I think this is a cheat code, honestly, because you can do so much. You can only do but so much on your own. But having people around you that work as hard as you, that want things to get done as much as you, it's really the ultimate cheat code. So me and my manager, Jew, shout out to him, you know what I'm saying? Follow him on Instagram at 25 Riches. Turn my boy up. Shout out to him.
Jew.
Big Jew. So he's one of the hardest working people in the entire music industry. Like, he doesn't stop. He roll out of bed, sending my beats out. You know what I'm saying? Wake up in the morning, make a phone call, try to set something up for me. And I appreciate that a lot because it's just like me. I roll out of my bed to make a beat. I wake up, I got something on my mind that I want to get done. So we both come together, we put our heads together. He gives me ideas for samples, and it's just the ultimate cheat code. So I feel like, yes, I would be successful without him, and he'd be successful without me. But when you just merge the two together, it's just, we both go up here. We both go up here.
Yeah.
And that's what's been key for me.
No, that's definitely been key. And I'll say I've been working with both you guys for a really long time. And both you guys, I want to say since before you started working with each other. And like what Jew has brought to Hitman's career has amplified things in such a way, just opening up doors and so many more outlets for his beats, etc. And then, you know, on the flip side, there's always been opportunities that have kind of come Jew's way. And, you know, maybe he just didn't have something of this style or that style, or maybe somebody else wasn't willing to do stuff for this or that. And that's something else that I really got to tip my hat on to you too, is like, you've never been somebody who's too big or too small for, you know, the moment. Like, you know, Future's obviously a huge placement, but I'm pretty sure I could hit you up today and say, yo, I need beats for this up and coming artist I'm excited about that has 20,000 followers. And you would send me a 4-pack, you would send me an 8-pack. Like, there are a lot of people who, in the same kind of way that stop doing tight beats, just decide like, this level of artist is my new like barometer, and I'm not doing anything less. And it's like, bro, you're gonna miss out on a lot.
You're missing out on a lot. And the problem with that is, these artists that are up here that you only trying to work with, they were right here. So the next person up here is right here right now, and you turning them down just because they're not there already. But that producer artist relationship is like, you know, it's just really key. So having someone's breakout single, you and their sound are tied together forever. So being a part of that person's rise, they get new fans, they get all these people tapping in. Not only do they go up from it, but you go up from it as well. So I never turn that down. Like I got the perfect example for that, right? I having all these songs with YoungBoy already, right? It was an artist that I got locked in with named Queso. And when Queso, he didn't have like, you know, too many songs out, nothing too much recorded and everything like that. But I heard the music and I believed in it. And we just locked in. And when his project came out, I did half of his songs on that project. We got so much more locked in the vault and stuff like that. But now whenever they think of Queso, they're going to think of me. And people still hit me up to this day talking about something. Yo, I heard what you did on this. Can you give me that type of sound for my project? And that's been something that's really paid off for me. I don't turn people down based on where they're at. So up and coming artists, major artists, people that were major and they not major no more, and they trying to reach that point. I don't care if I believe in your music and it's hard, we can work.
Yeah,
it's that simple for me.
Most definitely, most definitely. As far as you know, thinking about a lot of like the up and coming loop makers, producers who want to collab, etc. Obviously, there's a few different ways that you can kind of do it, but I guess usually I ask like some advice that you have to them, but let me make it more of like a actual concrete example. Like so and so is an upcoming loop maker. He has nothing going on. He's got 600 followers. He's got no placements, no nothing. But the way he approached you made you want to work with him and give him a chance. Like,
Yeah.
what's the difference between him and all these other people that are sending just like copy and paste messages?
Okay, so the differences between the copy and paste and him is that more than likely that intro message, he personalized it. He let me know that he probably said that this specific song that I did or this project that I was on, like he's heard my work and he's a big fan of it. And it's like maybe I inspired him in a way. That's always something that I hold on to. But he presented himself in a way other than, yo, bro, let's lock in where I send loops at. You know what I'm saying? He approached me in a great way. And then he followed that up by delivering.
Mhm.
He delivered, he had loops that stood out to me that weren't just something that I can just find in my email all day long. You know what I'm saying? So since we've been personal, I'll make it even more personal, right? When I was working on the project, when I was working on the beats for Future and then when I was working for beats for 42 Dugg and beats for Black Youngster recently and everything of that nature, you had people reaching out to me, still sending me stuff for YoungBoy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, like of course I still work with him, but I'm not in that mode right now. I'm working for other stuff. So they specifically asked me like, yo, what are you looking for right now? And they delivered exactly what I was looking for. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, you get some collabs on the Black Youngster album. And then when Dugg drops, there'll be some collabs on there and stuff like that. And even though it didn't drop, one of the songs that I got with Future is a collab, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, he personalized it. And there is some specific examples of that right now that I give people who don't have too much going on a chance because they're hard, and then I just like the way they approach me. That approach is everything. First impression is everything.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. And you never get a second chance at your first shot at it. But yeah, man, you definitely given so many producers opportunities, etc.
Mm.
Like you alluded to, Black Youngster album For Life out now. You had 8 on there, just time and time again delivering. And one of the cool things about that is you really gave a lot of your homies
Yeah,
opportunity to shine on there, as well as people
yeah.
coming up. So that doesn't go overlooked. Super dope for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, it's one of the main things that like it's one of my favorite things to do. Like getting someone one of their first placements or getting someone their first plaque or something along those lines. It's just like that just really means a lot to me and stuff like that. So that's one of the main things that I love to do. I got we got a lot of young producers that I work with, and I'm just like one of my main things that I always want to do is that have them be more prepared for success and more ready than I was at their age and that I was at the age that they're about to be. So um, I I like helping these younger people out for sure.
Most definitely. And yeah, it's cool to say it, but like I said, there's a lot of cold hard examples to back it up. And I mean, just looking at the youngster track list and all the producers on there and the ones that you had collab with on there is just the basis for that. But now we appreciate it big time. Hitman, one of the biggest goats, man. Keep inspiring, keep putting on for all the producers. We appreciate it so much. Everybody, make sure you let us know who you want to see next in the comments. But the Hitman episode, we finally got to it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Carl. Appreciate you. And we locked in forever. So we're gonna keep working. We're gonna keep getting stuff done.